In an era where the American dream seems to be folded neatly into a paper boat and set adrift on the high seas of irony, President Donald Trump has decided to take up the role of captain, steering the U.S. shipbuilding industry towards uncharted waters. With a flourish of his pen, Trump signed an executive order on April 10th, presumably hoping to reel in the robust shipbuilding prowess of China, which currently sails circles around the U.S. With more than 50% of global shipbuilding, while America's contribution floats at a meager 0.1%. This latest gesture from Trump, who's known for his love of all things nautical, if only because they come with gilded interiors and the chance to wave from a distance, aims to develop a maritime action plan. This plan, of course, is intended to address China's anti-competitive actions within the shipbuilding industry. One can only imagine the board meeting where this was conceived. Let's show those shipbuilding giants who's boss by throwing some American dollars at it and crossing our fingers. Brian Clark, director of the Hudson Institute think tank's Center for Defense Concepts and Technology, isn't quite convinced that Trump's executive order is the magic wand America needs to conjure up a fleet worthy of global dominance. Clark, in a Monday email to Fox News Digital, pointed out that simply throwing money at the problem, like tossing a lifebuoy into a hurricane, won't necessarily give the U.S. the edge over the subsidized shipyards of China, Korea, or Japan. Apparently, the plan involves more than just writing big checks with even bigger hopes. Meanwhile, the Ships for America Act, introduced with much fanfare in December 2024, aims to foster growth within the U.S. shipbuilding industry. The legislation dreams of a strategic commercial fleet program, which would make America a proud parent of merchant vessels that could strut around the international waters, all American-built, owned, and operated. But as we all know, dreams are free, while ships, not so much. In an unexpected twist, Trump hinted at the possibility of partnering with foreign nations in Congress to authorize the purchase of ships from other countries. This bold move could potentially ruffle the feathers of the century-old Jones Act, a legislation as controversial as pineapple on pizza. The Jones Act, for those not in the nautical know, demands that only U.S. ships carry cargo between U.S. ports, with a crew that's at least 75% American citizens, and that these ships are as homegrown as apple pie. Supporters of the Jones Act argue it's a cornerstone of national security, preventing foreign entities from gaining a foothold in the U.S. But critics claim this law is less about national security and more about ensuring the shipbuilding industry remains stuck in a time warp, with costs as inflated as a life vest. In the pragmatic words of Veronique de Ruggi, a senior research fellow at the Mercatus Center at George Mason University, anyone serious about reviving the shipping industry should basically start by getting rid of the Jones Act. It's a suggestion as subtle as a foghorn in the dead of night, but perhaps worth considering. Colin Grabo from the Cato Institute's Center for Trade Policy Studies suggests that the shipbuilding woes in the U.S. are multifaceted, with the Jones Act being a significant anchor holding the industry back. But like a well-worn plotline in a maritime adventure, efforts to repeal the act have been marooned by bipartisan support in Congress. Now, dear viewers, as we navigate through the turbulent seas of political maneuvers and legislative quagmires, what are your thoughts on this caper? Is Trump's executive order the life raft the U.S. shipbuilding industry has been waiting for, or merely another ship in a bottle, nice to look at but ultimately going nowhere? Drop anchor in the comments below and let us know where you stand. And while you're here, if you find our satirical voyage through current events to be as refreshing as a sea breeze, do consider subscribing to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if this video made you chuckle, or a thumbs down if you're still stuck on the Jones Act. Your engagement helps us keep the sails full and the content flowing. Until next time, keep your life jackets handy and your sarcasm even handier, for the seas of news are never calm.